Hello again. We're going to finish up the hands, and then we're going to move on back to the body, and we're going to do some stuff with that. So that won't take very long. Hopefully we only have one more thing to do. We did a side view of a hand here, and now we want to do the other side of the view, which is the pinky side and so on. You're not going to see the thumb, and we're just going to come 2, 3, obviously, and then we're going to make it bigger. Well, because I kind of did that wrong. See, even you know, people who draw a lot make mistakes. Pinky's going to kind of come in because, you know, if you see it, it's really in there in the circle. And 2 and 3, and then the next thing it's going to be a little bit in 2 and 3, because in this one, remember that middle finger kind of sat on the very top of the circle, and so you're going to see that, and then that, and then that. So then you're just going to have, you know, come in here like that. Here's a finger, here's a finger. If you want to just leave it at that, that's cool. You don't have to. I like to do a little more. You know, you can come in and you can see the knuckle, you know, knuckle, however you want to draw that, and then remember the flat top. You probably won't see very much of the top your index finger, depending on what angle it's at. Come back, and you'll have this little bump here, which is that thing. People draw it very differently all the time. So that's something definitely to remember. Let's see if I can, right there. So, it's something to remember, and remember your nails, and so on. Now when people are drawing poses like that, and that's a rigid pose, we can do more on that, which is something I didn't think of earlier, so we can do that and use up the rest of the time on this video. That way we can just go back to the body in the next one. One thing to remember, nails are the same, but one thing to remember is to use something like this. It's a mirror, if you can't tell. It's something you can use all the time when you're drawing. It's a great tool to use, because if you can't, like, I can't see the back of my hand very well, obviously, so I would use a mirror. If you want to see how a certain emotion would look on someone's face, use a mirror, and you can look at yourself. Or if you don't know what a pose would look like, you can get a mirror, a full-length mirror, bathroom mirror, whatever, and use a mirror. And what it is, it helps because your eyes are far apart. That's what gives you 3D vision. And when you can look in a mirror, you can see it on a flat surface. It's just like using a picture reference, except it's in a mirror. And you can use it and it will work, because you can see things flat and they will look easier, and you can see what it will look like on a flat surface, and it will make it easier to draw. Another thing you can do is look online to find references, reference pictures, and so on and so forth. But nobody ever seems to turn to a mirror. You can take a mirror with you anywhere. What about those little compact mirrors girls have? You know, they take them everywhere with them. Everybody seems to have a mirror these days. You can use the reflection of a window if you need to, you know, something like that. Make faces at the people in a coffee shop just to get this thing, you know. Mirrors are an excellent tool to use, and you should use them if you have it. So, and I really doubt that there's somebody out there that would not own a single mirror in their house. Okay, next, like I was saying, these are very rigid, so the next thing we're going to do is probably do a little bit more relaxed pose. Pinky comes in, and then this one's in a little bit. And when your hand is set like this, the fingers slowly fan out, see? So, you know, everybody's seen that person doing that, and usually, you know, I'm sitting in a lounge chair for some reason, a lounge chair by the computer. It's comfy, but it's broken, and I keep falling back into it, and I can't move it. Anyway, depending on how you do it, you know, your forefinger might be out, it might be in, you know, just depends. This one I'm probably going to draw it in, so probably won't see it as much. Kind of a flat back to the hand. It's pretty much flat. Got a little curve to it, like I said, but not very much. Kind of got to hurry with these too, so remember to curve at the knuckles, the angles, the joints, whatever. What I did there, you know, you can draw them in, that's great, but just make sure that you draw them in so you know where they would bend. You can just do the one bend in the finger thing, that will work. It all depends, just whatever works for you. If sometimes you use the 3 bend technique, it will give your art a more seasoned look, I suppose. Make you look like you do know what you're doing, even though you choose not to do it. Like maybe just like on one finger or something. And then I'm just gonna kind of let this finger follow it, so you're not gonna really see it. And that's just something. And that's just kind of a relaxed hand. It's really badly drawn, I'm sorry. I haven't had any good art lately. So, remember this little thingy right there? Your little wrist bone jutting out, or I think it's your arm bone that juts out there. And so, remember that, you know, even here your wrist will come in and then come out. So that's another thing for all of these. The wrist goes in and then comes out for the hand. A lot of people, even in manga, will just make the wrist go straight, the arm go straight into the hand. And that's great for stylized things, but unless you can make it work, you probably shouldn't do it. Just to say. Now we'll do another relaxed hand the other direction, with the thumb showing. Comes the wrist down, do the thumb, come around, and I suppose if anybody needs me to, I can do another video on like poses for hands, like how one would draw them. But really, if you just, and even if you can't draw the hands, just, you know, just kind of, yay, there's a hand, and then you can always come in later after you get everything else done and go in and specifically, you know, draw the things. And you can use that for all sorts of animals, aliens, anything really. So, I'm gonna do this one with kind of an inward view. I gotta kind of rush through this. I hate rushing. Does anybody else hate rushing? I hate rushing. So yeah. Okay, we're gonna come out, and then we're gonna do that. This isn't so much of a relaxed as more of almost a pose for maybe grabbing something. So, you know, just use a mirror, see what your hand would do in that situation. And once you get really good, you don't even have to work with these anymore. You know, some artists just don't. I don't very often, but I always, you know, if my hand doesn't look right, I'll always go back to it. I'll always redraw it, maybe on another piece of paper, etc. And I have my cousin, actually, she's an artist also, and she has a problem. She can draw hands perfectly, she just can't draw them small enough to fit on a drawing of a person. The anatomy just ends up getting linked. And like what I did right there, these are not, you know, horrible sizes that would not fit on a person in a drawing. But, you know, just remember to use your proportions, use your knowledge of what a hand would be, study the hand, look at the bone structure, things like that. Look for references online. There are references in books you can get. There's always, there's a very unlimited, nearly, you know, scope of what you can get and what you can use. So, that's pretty much it for hands. Like I said, if anybody needs, like, help with hands or wants another video with more poses, more things like that, please don't hesitate. Feel free to message me, email me, etc. Be happy to do anything I can to help. Good luck, and the next video will be on bodies. Yay! Back to the bodies.